Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
But it's you and me, and the drugs make three. If they're so damn good, how could I compete? You love to say that I'm fucked up. It's either you and me or the drugs. 'Cause I'm done with the three of us.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Cassadee Pope.
Nice. Here at Sunfest, man. That is badass because you're from here.
I'm from West Palm, yeah.
Now, have you ever played Sunfest before?
I have, but like one of the, side tents
Right.
to, a backing track. So to be on stage with my band live and, on the main stage is so cool.
Yeah, it's way cool, and I like this stage better anyway, okay? So it's funny, some of my media partners, they were talking about the Ford stage. I'm like, well, this
Yeah.
amphitheater's always here.
Yeah.
Because there were sound issues on Friday night, so they're like,
Oh, no.
I'm like, you won't have them at this stage because this is always here.
It's just, I've seen shows here. I've come here for the 4th of July thing every year when I used to, grow up coming to those things. So, I mean, I remember the stage from being a kid. It's so
Nice.
crazy.
So you have a new album coming out on the 12th of July.
Yes.
And from what I understand, that is like your most real album yet in like 3 decades. It's like you're just letting it all out of
Yeah.
who you really are.
Yeah, and I think, every time I release a project, I feel like I'm learning more about myself every time. So I've learned a lot about myself over the last, 2 years since I've released my last album, and I've been writing through a lot of transitional periods, like switching genres back to pop punk, and I have a lot to say, a lot of life experience to this point. So it feels like I feel like I'm in a safer space to reveal more about my story.
And you know what? I love that you're back to pop punk, and it was so cool. Because sometimes it depends on who you are in punk. When you leave, maybe you can't come back.
Sure,
but then
yeah.
you were at When We Were Young last year, and the whole community accepted you like you never left.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, when I started, talking to other artists and bands about coming back and who I'm writing with and what I'm doing and, asking for advice and, managers, who should I meet with and everything, it just was really cool to just be totally embraced. I didn't stop keeping in touch with my friends or anything like that, but when you're not seeing each other all the time at festivals and whatever, when you're not in that circuit, you're out of sight, out of mind, kind of. So
Yeah.
now that I'm around more and I'm doing more things and I'm visible, it's like I'm getting asked to do things. I'm getting there's a lot that I can't say yet, like of songs I've sang on for other bands, and
Nice.
it's just like so cool to see all the stuff that is come out of coming back to the genre, because you're right. I think that genre is they're very specific with who they embrace, because it has to be authentic and it has to be something they believe in, and they do with me, which is so cool.
Yeah, and it's funny what you said, because doing festivals, I go and I do radio coverage at festivals all over the U.S., U.K., Europe. Like, it's weird for me to be doing one at home in West Palm Beach.
Yeah,
right?
I get that.
And it's so true, though. It's like people will say stuff to you when you get home, and like, aren't you glad to be home? I'm like, I don't know. All my friends are out on the road.
Right.
Like, now I'm all alone.
Yeah.
And so it is weird to like jump to another genre, because it's a whole different crowd, So yeah, you're right. I know people that I used to know years ago that they haven't been around the scene in a while, and it is almost like they're forgotten because they're not there time and time and time again.
Yeah, and when everyone's, continuing to stay on the road and doing their own things, it's like life just kind of goes by so fast, and you just realize, wow, I haven't seen this person in years. And so when you do see them and reconnect, it's really cool.
So tell us about your newest single, too. And I want to know the story about in the video, the note on the wall, because like you could tell that you were totally emotional during that whole video.
It was emotional, you know. I asked my fans last year to send me, you know, I'm going to have a song about substance abuse and my experience with it with loved ones in the past. And if you've had that experience, if you are someone who struggles with it or someone who knows a loved one who has, like, send me a note anonymously, and I will print it out, and it'll be a part of something really special. And now it's finally out, and people are, you know, like, wow, I can't believe my note made the video. And
That's cool.
We printed them out and put them behind me during my performance during the Three of Us music video, and it made me emotional because obviously that's a very personal song about my story, but to know that I'm not alone in my experience with that, and that other people feel like the song is helping them through a tough time, it just like definitely brings out a lot of emotions.
Because music is the best therapy for you as the artist and for me as the listener,
Yeah.
you know, and we may have a different story, but we still relate to whatever story you're telling when you're authentic.
Right, yeah.
And you're being authentic. And when you're authentic, like, everybody can relate in their own story.
Yeah, and you sometimes think as an artist, like, am I being too specific? Am I being too descriptive of what it is that I'm going through, and it'll alienate other people? But it's sometimes like the most descriptive, most personal songs end up appealing to everyone because, unfortunately, substance abuse and addiction has touched all of us in some capacity.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's like I'm also glad that people can hear that and feel like they're not alone.
Yeah, and it's especially a problem in your industry,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And I think it helps for people to see people like you expressing it, putting it out there, and so they can relate. Like,
Yeah.
like everybody goes through this, and it is a real bad problem right now. And I don't think you can meet any person anywhere that hasn't been touched by it.
Yeah, and it's Mental Health Awareness Month too, so I thought, you know, there's that component obviously, so I just wanted to, I'm going to partner up with an organization that I love called To Write Love on Our Arms, and they
love them.
Yeah, they're amazing, and they have so many great resources for people who are in recovery or, you know, having suicidal thoughts, anything like that. They're really great at rehabilitation and getting people therapy, whatever they need to get better, so doing that as well.
That's cool you're partnering with them because I, you know, there's different organizations, some you like, some that you love.
Yeah.
They're the ones that I love because they're so boutique. They so care about everything.
Yep.
I see them everywhere, and they're just trying to help people. And like, it's the same similar concept with the notes. Like, you get to write a note at the booth, at the festivals.
Always.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're great.
So we're also going to talk about something that, even though we're at Sunfest now, this will probably come out during the week, and you'll have announced something on Monday.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about that?
Sure. I'm headed on tour. I'm doing
Nice.
my first headliner in 2 years. The Hereditary Tour. I'm taking out my friends, the Foxies, on the whole tour, and then on the East Coast dates starting July 19th. My friend Natalia Taylor is going to come open as well, hopping on with the Foxies, and we're going East Coast, some East Coast dates, and then we're doing West Coast first, and it's going to be kicking off the album release as well. So the album will be out during the tour, and people can hopefully learn some songs and come to the shows and sing along. But I'm just excited to take the album on the road because I'm kind of old school. I like releasing albums with a tour.
That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, live is where I tell the story the most emotionally and authentically. So I'm excited to have people come out.
And you'll be at one of my favorite venues in West Palm, Respectable
Yes.
Street.
Yep.
That'll be a cool show.
I'm really excited. I'm going to tell them when I'm on stage today because I want to give them the exclusive. But
Nice.
Respectables, I'd go to shows there all the time growing up, and I remember just venues like that, Ray's Downtown Blues, you know, Spanky's, like all those venues mean so much to me. But Respectables is just one of my favorites.
It's so funny because I was just there Thursday night covering a show, and we were outside talking about Spanky's and Ray's Downtown Blues.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing DRI, and I'm from the days of DRI. And I saw them at Ray's Downtown Blues. I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe they're playing here. There were some
Yeah.
iconic bands that played there.
Yeah.
And there's so many great bands that play at Respectable. So
I'm
it's so cool to
excited.
have you there. It's going to be awesome.
I'm ending the tour there, so I'll stay a few days after too. It'll
There
be
you
fun.
go. Anything else you want to share with the listeners that we haven't covered that might be important for them to know that's going on with you?
I mean, you covered a good amount. Yeah, the album coming out, and I wrote it. I wrote a lot of the songs on the album with a fellow West Palm Beach native, Ali Tamposi, who's
Nice.
a big songwriter now. So there's a lot of hometown love on the album, and obviously ending the tour here means a lot. So yeah, you did a good job.
Absolutely. So, I like stories. So, we'll finish up with, if you were to tell one story of your whole musical career when you're like 80, what would it be?
Oh gosh.
Good or bad?
Oh, that's hard. Okay,
Right?
if I
That's
were to tell
always a hard one.
Story. Man, I don't know. I mean, there's been so many random things that have happened to me. I think if I had to pick one, I guess I'd probably pick playing on. So I was on Fuse when Mark Hoppus had his own show with Amy Schumer. It was
Okay.
before she really blew up, and I got to sing on that show with Hey Monday and meet Mark Hoppus, who's one of my heroes,
Nice.
and he was just really kind. It's not like anything spicy or crazy that happened. Oh wait, I was in the makeup room and I was getting my makeup done next to Mark and Amy before the show, and the producer comes in and they're like, "Hey, the network just wants you to tone it down a notch with the dick jokes and the this and that." And Amy was like, "Have you ever seen a Blink-182 show? What do you and she's like, "Have you seen my comedy show? Like, they're asking us to do what?" And I was just like sitting there cracking up because I was like, "Yeah, they're not going to clean up their
I love it.
act." But yeah, that was fun.
Love it. Tell everybody your socials, for those that don't know, your website, how they can pre-order the new album coming out, check out the video, tour dates, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so the tour dates are on my website, CassadeePope.com. It'll direct you to Cassadee.com. The link to get the tickets, which today, Monday, is it this coming out Monday?
It'll come out Monday or Tuesday.
Okay,
so.
one of the days. There's a VIP that you can purchase where I'll be doing 2 songs acoustic, a meet and greet, early entry, all of that good stuff that are available at each venue. There's only 50 at each venue, so they'll go fast. All those tickets, everything for that will be available on my website, or like the link in all my bios and all my socials, which are all Cassadee Pope. So I'm on all of the platforms.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
you rock, and you're going to kill it here at Sunfest.
Thank you.
I'm like, so far, that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Aw.
And we're on the third day, last day.
Thank you.
And you're in good company, too, with Dashboard Confessional and Third Eye Blind.
I know.
This is the day. If you're going to play, this is the day.
This is
to
a
play.
cool day for me. Yeah,
It
I'm
is.
excited.
So,
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Hey, I'm Cassadee Pope, and you're listening to Pipeman on W4CY Radio.